Now, let's talk about the scourge of human trafficking. Human traffickers exploit women, children, and men, mostly for forced labor and sex work. The UN marks July 30th, this day, to raise awareness of the scandal, which happens all over the world. Almost half of trafficking victims are women. Men account for only about 1/5. 23% are girls and 7% are boys. Now, more countries are reporting trafficking now, up from just 26 in 2009 to 65 in 2018. Also, victim detection is increasing. It's increased from 38% increased 38% between the year 2007 and 2016. Convictions went up 67% over the same time period. The 225,000 trafficking victims the United Nations has identified since 2003 are likely only a small part of the full picture. Trafficking is just one aspect of what's considered modern slavery. In all, more than 40 million people are estimated to be trapped in some sort of servitude.
A steady job with a good salary and a lucrative bonus. That's the promise that tempts many Indonesian men to leave their homes and head to sea. But what they get is this. Footage released by the Indonesian Seafarers Movement shows crew members sleeping on the floor in the cargo hold, looking malnourished and exhausted. One of them is Rahmatullah. He says he was tricked by an Indonesian recruiting agency, trafficked to Somalia, and forced to spend 9 brutal months aboard a Chinese fishing boat, manning nets and packing fish for 18 hours a day.
When we didn't catch enough fish or squid, we were beaten by the captain. We were beaten a lot. I'm still traumatized by it.
On board, the crew claim they were given a choice between going hungry and eating spoiled fish. And they didn't even have clean water.
On the rare occasion we were given fish, we could tell by the smell that the fish was already bad. After smelling it, we couldn't eat it. On a daily basis, all we got was cabbage and rice with a little salt. And we drank condensation water that we collected from the air conditioner.
Rahmatullah and his crewmates are now back home, and they've taken photos and videos to document their experience. Experts say the fishing industry is riddled with forced labor, and it predominantly targets poor workers from Southeast Asia. Once on board, there's no way out for the men, and they're often mercilessly exploited. Rahmatullah and his crewmates say they're owed thousands of dollars in unpaid wages.
I worked far away for my family so they could be proud of me when I returned home, but the reality was different. When I asked the recruitment company for our rights, they said, "You're a stupid idiot. We just wanted to ask for our rights after working for 7 months."
Numerous NGOs, both local and international, have rung the alarm about the slave-like conditions that seem to be commonplace on fishing vessels across the globe. But it hasn't stopped men like these from falling into the hands of traffickers. Indonesia's Ministry of Manpower is, among other things, tasked with the protection of its workers abroad. A department head acknowledges the problem, but says it's difficult to monitor labor conditions at sea.
We need to study first whether the information about the abused seafarers is true or not. We must rely on data and facts so we can enforce actions lawfully.
But, as Rahmatullah and his former crewmates know, data and facts are difficult to obtain when you're at sea with no one watching.